Hello, Ramen Nation. Chris Cobain here. My voice kind of cracked there. Chris Cobain here, bringing you guys NPA Season 3, the quarterfinals, or the second round of playoffs, whichever way you would like to phrase it. The Philadelphia Braviaries are making their playoff debuts this season in their first season as an official team, which is great. We are taking on John, aka Pokemen, coach of the New Orleans Pelippers. We did face him earlier this year, so this is a rematch. He was a division rival, and actually was the guy who finished second place in the red division behind me. I believe he beat Elliot, Galactic Elliot. I'm pretty sure he beat Elliot in his first playoff match, and I believe he did it in pretty convincing fashion, so props to him. We already know from the last match, Pokemen is a phenomenal battle. This is going to be a very tough match. So, I believe we faced off this season. I believe it was week 2. I don't remember too much about the battle, but I do remember that I beat him either 4-0 or 3-0, but it was a really close match. I remember that I was able to stifle Victini incredibly using Dugtree and Prima. And I also remember that I was running Rest Talk Primarina, and I clicked Rest on your Missy terrain because I'm an idiot. So I got a lot of crap for that, but I deserved it. So I'm actually doing this match pretty early this week. It's Wednesday, so he's a little constrained for time. So we're actually going to be battling today. So this battle will be long gone before you guys actually get to see it. So, but Team Builder, obviously. I don't have to go into too much detail, but we're going to go ahead and just go through his team as we normally do. Starting with Victini, who is possibly, or well, not possibly, but he's one of the best draft league Pokemon in existence. 100 base to all. His moveset is ridiculous. You guys know what it is. V-Create and Blue Flare and Bolt Strike and U-Turn and Zen Headbutt and Energy Ball and Glaciate for good measure and the ones that are the special electric attacks and I don't... Energy Ball and whatever, dude. If it's a move, he pretty much gets it. He can run any set he wants. Last time he ran Scarf, which I kind of expect again. Ryu Nicholas, I believe he ran Ryu Nicholas last time. He was running a berry. I think he was running a berry because I remember he killed Scizor. Yeah, I think he was carrying the Bugberry. I don't actually remember. Go back and watch it. Really defensive, though, obviously. Good Pokemon. Can be Calm Mind. It can be Regenerator. Excuse me. Or Magic Guard. Which both are very, very scary. Can be done with different things. Can be Specs. Can be Life Orb. Can be Leftovers. Like I said, the Calm Mind set. Very, very scary Pokemon in general. Decidueye. I brought Decidueye last time as well, running a pretty typical set on him. I really did expect him to be running Z Spirit Shackle, but he did not. He did not opt to run that. He was just running a basic set. I believe he was running a Culver Berry on that. Oh, he was. I bug bited the Decidueye and didn't notice that it took the berry. Right. I remember that now. It's a good Pokemon, though. Definitely be very threatening. A Swords Dance Z Spirit Chocolate Shack could be very, very threatening to Scizor. Escavalier, very, very bulky bug steel type, just like my boy Scizor, so he's only going to be weak to fire type. Can be very easily assault vested or choice band. Either way, very, very scary. It can also just be like leftovers, as my bunny chews on his water bottle. Sorry. It can also be the Swords Dance leftover set, that kind of stuff. So there's that. Passimian, just a really good fighting type Pokemon. I think Passimian's underrated personally. It's kind of like Primeape, just a little bit slower, but a little stronger. I believe it's like base 85 speed, something like that. Got a lot of moves to it. Can be Scarf very easily. Sand Slash is his one of his 2 forms of Hazard Control with Rapid Spin, obviously. Swords Dance, Earthquake, knockoff X's or Rock Slide. Not a very big threat to me because of a few things, but definitely a Pokemon that he might want to bring for Rapid Spinning purposes. Tapu Fini is just way more consistent Hazard Control with the Fog. Obviously, Tapu Fini is really, really annoying. Really, really bulky, provides a really, really good answer to a Zygarde, which is definitely very scary. It can actually just eat a +2 1,000 arrows with relative ease, so that's kind of scary. Moonblast, Scald or Surf or Hydro, whatever he wants to click. Obviously, against Nature's Madness, he can run the Z move there if he wants to. Taunt, Calm Mind, Defog, as I said. Very good Pokemon. Definitely expecting to bring it. Raikou was a pretty big deal last week, or not last week, but last time we played. He was running Shed Shell on it, but he was running it with Substitute, and there was a point where he substituted himself, And because he didn't have leftovers, it chipped himself, and it allowed me to kill him with Z Focus Blast from Thundurus last time. So, I don't know his plans on dealing with Dugtrio this time. I don't know if he still runs Shed Shell Raikou. I don't know if he realized that set doesn't really do too much for him. He might run Shed Shell Victini for all I know. Man, that'd be awesome. But we'll see. Raikou's probably coming. Tyrantrum, really, really strong. Obviously, Dragon and Rock-type Pokemon. Head Smash, it can run Rockhead. Crunch, it can run Strong Jaw against the Elemental Fangs. It can be Dragon Dance. Very, very scary Pokemon in general. It's very, very hard. It's hard to wall it. I don't really have anything on my team that just directly handles it. Head Smash just kind of levels my team in general. Noivern, Dragon Flying. 123 base speed, I believe. It loves to be Choice Specs, Hurricane, Boom Burst. Draco Meteor, very, very strong attacks. Fire Blast as well. It gets Focus Blast so that it can handle Impulsion if you'd like to. And he rounds his team off with Quillfish, who's just a really annoying Intimidator, Hazard, etc. Gets Spikes and Toxic Spikes. And can just be an all-around nuisance in general. So, his team's definitely very good. We mentioned it last time. He's got a very strong team. He matches up pretty well against me, but we do have the right Pokemon and the right squad, I think, this week to just kind of repeat what happened last time and get us to walk away with a pretty solid victory here. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I'll be devastated if I lose this match, but I think we'll be okay here, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and take a look at our team this week, leading off with the man who leads it off pretty much every week. That's going to be Slick, the Scizor, and we're running a very, very offensive set this week. We have never really opted to run super offensive Scizor. We've done it a couple of times, but we've definitely stuck more to the defensive set, more so than the offensive set. Not this week. We're running Jolly, Light Metal will obviously turn into attack. Scissorite, Bullet Punch, Roost, Pursuit, and U-Turn, running 28 HP, 252 attack, and 228 speed, which is going to allow us to outspeed max speed, bless you, max speed non-scarfed Tyrantrum. The set's pretty clear here. Bullet Punch is just for overall power. Obviously, it hits Tyrantrum. It obviously does. It can do stuff to Tapu Fini, Noivern as well. That kind of stuff. Just pretty clear. U-Turn is U-Turn. Whatever. Pursuit is pretty nice in this match. We are faster than Decidueye. Are we faster than Decidueye? No. No, we're not actually. But anyway, Decidueye doesn't hurt us that much. So if he decides to U-Turn out, Pursuit hits that. Pursuit is Renicklas very hard. If we can catch Victini in some weird manner where it's Choice Scarfed and it clicks not a fire attack, right? We can bring in Scizor on the like the counter play and hit him up with the Pursuit as he switches out, hits him very hard. Roost is just for staying power. It helps him fight Decidueye really well. Non-him power fire Renicklas really well. Non-him power fire Tapu Fini really well. Stuff like that. Pretty simple. Pretty simple set, but it should put in a lot of work this week. Coming in number 2, we have one of our 2 really main focuses this week. It is going to be Green Arrow, the Zygarde. Like I said, he's one of our 2 really big focuses in this match. We'll get to the other one later. We're running a Adamant Choice Band set, running 92 HP, 252 attack, and 164 speed, which along with that Adamant nature, since he's not Jolly, it will just allow us to outspeed Tyrantrum. So there's that. He's running 1,000 Arrows, Extreme Speed, Crunch, and Outrage. Pretty simple set. 1,000 Arrows, Extreme Speed, Outrage, all very clear. Outrage, nothing on his team wants to eat out the Outrages aside from Fini, so if we can get that off the field, we just click Outrage and everything. 1,000 Arrows decimates his whole team in general. Crunch is for Decidueye, mostly more than anything else. I don't really have a reason to crunch anything else. It's almost the same role. Crunch and 1,000 Arrows is almost the same role on Renicklas. Crunch is a little harder, but it allows Tapu Fini to come in easier. So I really only will be clicking Crunch against Decidueye. And then, you know, Extreme Speed just for that quick priority if we can weaken Raikou or weaken Victini or weaken Noivern or whatever, you know, just hit it with that E-Speed. Does solid damage to all 3, so just a good tack to have in general. Very, very focused this week. We plan on Volt turning into him as much as possible, and I said Volt turning, which means I'm bringing Raigeki, was the really in the question. This week, though, we're going a lot different than the last one. We did run the Z Focus Blast. I believe we were in Agility. We did, yeah. That's how I won the game. Yeah, it was agility, because Thunder's got 4 kills. Agility, Z-Focus picked up 4 kills last time by hitting the Z-Focus on Raikou and just sweeping with Thunderbolt. This time we're going a little bit different. We're running Timid, Volt Absorb, obviously, and Choice Scarf. Running 252 Special Attack and Speed just to make sure we're faster than Victini, who, if it's not, well, even if it's Scarf, faster than Victini under all circumstances. Thunderbolt, Dark Pulse, Focus Blast, and Volt Switch. You can definitely tell by our team that we're really focusing on those Psychic and Ghost types here. Thunderbolt just reigns supreme, as does Volt Switch. We opt for Volt Switch as opposed to U-Turn because his only actual immunity is going to be Sand Slash, which I welcome if he decides to bring it. Dark Pulse is for Decidueye and Reuniculus. Already went over that stuff, obviously. It also hits Victini hard. Focus Blast is mostly there just for Raikou. It could also hit Tyrantrum as well. And then, of course, Volt Switch is just for momentum. This thing just puts it on punch of work. It's faster than everything on his team, save for Choice Scarfed Noivern or Choice Scarfed Raikou, neither of which I expect. But it will do solid damage. We do have to play risky with Focus Blast against the Raikou, but pretty much the point of the first 3 is U-Turn and Volt Switch from Scizor and Thundurus, respectively, to switch into Zygarde to hit things hard when he tries to make counter switches. You know, when he goes into Decidueye to try to take it, or we know Tapu Fini to try to take U-Turn, or he goes into Raikou to try to take, because we do live a Hidden Power Ice on Zygarde. If we switch in, you know, if he goes into Raikou to take the Volt Switch, we can just bring in Zygarde and hit him with that 1,000 arrows, all that fun stuff. Pretty simple. Coming in number 4 this week, obviously we are not going to leave this guy at home. It is literally, I believe, literally the same exact set we ran the last time, just because it's not. It doesn't make any sense not to run it. And handles his team too well. It's my boy Doug True. It's a tarp. Running Jolly, Arena Trap, Focus Sash. Obviously, he's running 252 attack, 220 speed, and 36 special defense, allowing him to outspeed max speed, non-scarfed Raikou. He's running Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Pursuit, and Sucker Punch. This set is super, super plain, super, super obvious. Focus Sash is so we can scout that Scarf Victini with ease. Just in case he wants to run Scarf and, you know, hits me with the V-Crit or whatever, what have you, with U-Turn, whatever. It doesn't matter. Stealth Rock is Stealth Rock, obviously. Sucker Punch and Pursuit are pretty clear. Pursuit's for U-Turning Victini, because Sucker Punch doesn't even do 50% because of the dumb Sucker Punch nerf. Pursuit also allows me to trap, you know, Shed Shell variants of certain things, just in case. Specifically for Victini more so than anything else. Sucker Punch is to hit Reuniculus hard and hit Decidueye hard in the case they want to attack me. Pretty simple stuff. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Pretty simple set here. But it's a big one. It's almost certainly my lead. We led last time. I might lead Thundurus this week since he's fast and everything. But either way, this is a very safe, very easy lead for most of his team. There's not, and unlike leading against Dragonite like a complete dunce, there's nothing really on his team that if he leads with it, as I lead with Doug True, that I'm really punished too bad for. Decidueye could be kind of rough, because then it can set up Swords Dance and have Z, what's it called, for Scizor, but otherwise should be pretty safe. Number 5 this week is going to be Melody, the Primarina. This set's going to be pretty cool. I like this set a lot. We're running Bold, Torrent, obviously, Light Clay, max HP, max defense, nothing crazy there, 4 special attack, whatever. He's running Scald, even though it is a he. Scald, Moonblast, Reflect, and Light Screen, just a double screen set here. This team is really offensive, so it is going to have a little bit of weakness to Raikou here. Raikou does hit this team pretty hard a lot, so setting up Light Screen will be very important. Reflect is really important for being able to stop normal Victinis, Decidueye, Escavalier, or Tyrantrum, or whatever. Both of them serve really big purposes. So if I can set them up because I can switch into Tapu Fini pretty easily, you know, otherwise, unless it clicks Taunt, which would be annoying, but I can switch into him pretty easily. Reuniculus can't do too much to me. We can set up the screens pretty easily and try to use that to wall them off. It can help Zygarde do a lot more work, hit better, or it can help our last Pokemon take hits better, and that's what we're going to now, boys. And our other main focus this week is going to be Cough Egregious. We actually didn't even have him last time we fought him. I believe we picked up Cough Egregious in week 4. So we didn't have a chance to use him, but this time, there's just no reason not to run him. The last time we really ran this set, I told you guys to look at my opponent's team. What resists Ghost? I'm doing the same exact thing. Look at his team. What stops Ghost? The answer is nothing. Victini, Reuniculus, Decidueye, all weak to it. Super easy. Nothing on his team resists ghosts at all. He's got no normal types. So the set we've already run a couple times this week is going to be absolutely huge for us. Z, Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, Trick Room, Majora, V Cough Egregious. We decided to go with Will-O-Wisp this week just so that we could try to chip things on switch-ins just in case he decides to get a little weird. If he's running like Assault Vest as Cavalier and wants to play it that way. Or if he wants to, if he wants to be in Tyrantrum or whatever, Will-O-Wisp just helps us be really annoying. Obviously, we can't burn Victini. Obviously, Raikou doesn't care too much about being burned. The chip damage isn't that big a deal anymore, but otherwise, it can be pretty useful. We could have run Pain Split. Decided to go with Will-O-Wisp, though. The plan with this guy is pretty simple. Set up and win. Pokemon's got no real answer to this. Actually, in test runs when I was fighting Reiki, I actually played a pretty poor game the first time we did the first mock battle we did, but at the end of the game, I brought in Cough Egregious at 100% against Raikou, and had just done enough chip damage to win the game. He set up Calm Mind, I set up Nasty Plot, he Thunderbolted, I Trick Roomed, and then from like 70-something% when he was +1, my +2 Z Shadow Ball just tore him in half, and then I just finished the game off by Shadow Balling everything he had left. So this set's really strong. He doesn't have any real, there's pretty much nothing on his team that handles it that well to begin with. There's not even really anything I would like to chip. Like if he's running Assault Vest as Cavalier, it'd be nice to chip that. If he's running a specially defensive Tapu Fini, it'd be nice to chip that. But with the Z move, if I'm able to save the Z move for the correct situation, it just doesn't matter. I just set up and win. This guy's gonna be like an end game thing. I'm not gonna try to lead with him and just go off because Trick Room doesn't last that long. So we would obviously like to get 2 or 3 kills. That way we can use Trick Room to last for the rest of the game as we Shadow Ball everything. Because obviously I don't want to set up with him and then him be weak and then not actually win the game like that. So it'd be a late game thing. But if we can get a couple of kills, 2 or 3 kills, then we just bring this in on most of his Pokemon. Almost all of them. He can take 2 hits from almost everything he has. Victini obviously would hit hard, too hard for me. Decidueye would hit too hard if he has a Z move. Tyrantrum, Banded, Specs, Noivern maybe. They'd hit kind of hard, so we'll see how it goes. But it's pretty easy to set this guy up and win. He is the main focus. So the strategy with this team, pretty simple. We want to use both Thundurus and Scizor to do massive chip damage to whatever he decides to switch in. Use Zygarde to level his walls as fast as possible. And then near the end game, we just bring out Majora and just set up and just Shadow Ball everything he owns into an early grave. That is the entire point of this team. So we'll see how it goes. It should be a good game. Like I said, John's a good battler. This is going to be a rough match. But hopefully we can make it to the semifinals and redeem last year's loss in the semifinals to Vump. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching the battle, the team builder. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the actual match. Obviously, it'll be uploaded. I don't know when I'm uploading the team builder, but it'll be uploaded on Saturday. So make sure you guys check it out. Should be a good game as the Philadelphia Braviaries try to win the championship in their first official year as a member of the NPA. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the quarterfinals. All right, peace from Ramen Nation. See you guys later.